Hey guys, it's Simon here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today let's do another comic book review. Let's look at Blue Beetle number 2 by the same team as before. So it's just Trujillo, Adrian Gutierrez, Will Quintana, and Lucas Gattoni. And there's no changes to anything here. It's all the same. But it continues on the story from last time. So it starts with Ted in the hospital bed, Booster Gold, and Guy, the Green Lantern, and Fire and Ice, who are characters I've recently learned about, are with him. They're talking to each other about the difficulties that Ted is going through, how they're going to deal with it as a team, why they're together, stuff like that. And then ultimately they end up talking about the fact that Jaime is just outside and he's been beating himself up emotionally about it, and someone has to talk to him about it. And so in a kind of quick, funny scene, they all decide that Ice is going to do it. And so Ice goes outside, she goes and talks to Jaime, and he needs some comfort and a pep talk and, help with his emotions. And so Ice provides that for him quite nicely. I think she did a great job with it. And I really like how her design looks in Adrian Gutierrez's style. I think he does a great job here. I initially didn't like it when I started reading Blue Beetle Graduation Day, but it actually grows on you a lot. It's really, really good and fun. I like it a lot. So overall, good stuff here. I like that part of the story. Then we go to Victoria, because Jaime mentions that she hasn't shown up here at all. Where the heck is she? Who is trying to figure out what happened to her brother. And she's talking to these lab assistants who are failing at their job, and she basically immediately fires them, and she has to go get someone else to do the job for them. And Brenda shows up, and Brenda and Victoria are working together, and Victoria is like, well, at least you're not a disappointment, you're doing quite well. And so it looks like Victoria and Brenda are gonna be a pair of characters that are going to be paired up together. I'm curious to know what this means. So far, we have not seen Brenda interacting with the characters when the Red Beetle shows up. So maybe she's the Red Beetle. I'm not really sure. I feel like there's something wrong here with her, but I just don't know what it is. Something about the way that Victoria and Brenda are separate from everyone else kind of throws up a red flag somewhere in my mind, and I'm curious to see how that's going to work. The Red Beetle might not have anything to do with anyone, but it feels like logical for it to be connected, right? So I'm really enjoying this kind of like theory crafting kind of element that I have with this. So yeah, somewhere else at Estrella Plaza, which is Star Plaza, but they probably should have switched the order of that for Plaza Estrella, because that would have made more sense in Spanish, and it's still easy to say in English. So for next time, maybe switch that over. Maybe when they do the collected edition, they might want to switch that, because it makes more sense for it to be Plaza Estrella instead of Estrella Plaza, right? And I'm trying to say Estrella in an English accent, and I can't figure it out. So I'm just gonna stick with Estrella, right? So yeah, where the Horizon are building a place for themselves, right? While Xiomara and Roma are talking to each other about their origins. We get their backstory, how they got to meet, how they ended up with their characters Omek and Noldar, who are the Yellow Beetle and the Green Beetle respectively, and what happened with them, why they started attacking Jaime in Graduation Day, and how that changed, and how they are now friends and looking out for each other and for the Horizon, and also kind of dealing with the fact that there is a weight of responsibility on them that they didn't really ask for, but that they are, at least right now, still willing to carry, right? And so it's quite good. While this is happening, Ood and Uli are talking about their responsibilities to their own people. So it's kind of like this slightly darker version of the conversation that Xiomara and Roma are having, and I think it's good. I really enjoy it, but it's also kind of sinister because, ultimately the Horizon are looking out for themselves, and even though they're not the Reach, they are the same species as the Reach, and they can definitely kind of fall into the same pitfalls that group has fallen into, right? And so they may be dangerous in the wrong circumstances, and so that makes sense. I like that. What happens is that Red Beetle shows up, they attack, and I think it's actually called the Blood Scarab. but they haven't introduced it as such yet, so I'm gonna keep calling it Red Beetle for now. It attacks and then beats Nitida and Dynastis, or Roma and Xiomara, and Uli also. And it also managed to attack Ood and actually hurt him in a non-lethal but still dangerous way. Jaime arrives right after the end of the battle, and what happens is that Red Beetle leaves immediately as soon as Jaime shows up, and then Uli throws this into Jaime's face. She's like, dude, you should have been here to protect us. You weren't. What the hell? On one hand, I agree with her. On the other hand, not really, because Jaime is not the hero of the Horizon. He is the hero of the city, and he also is trying to, deal with the fact that his mentor is dying. I don't feel it's fair for Uli to say this, but also it adds to the conflict of the story, which is necessary. So I understand it, but I don't really like it, because ultimately the people that are actually the protectors of Horizon are Dynastis and Nitida, right? And so they failed. It's not necessarily Jaime's fault, and it's also not his responsibility to pick up their slack necessarily. So, he did kind of promise that he would protect them, but that doesn't mean that he will never fail at it, right? So, I don't know. On one hand, I definitely understand where Uli is coming from. On the other hand, I think she's being a bit too harsh with Jaime, but that is because I empathize more with Jaime than with Uli, right? So, that's kind of my thoughts there. But, overall, I think it's a good moment. And it turns out that Red Beetle has magic, and so Jaime needs to go talk to his ex-girlfriend, and I don't know who that is, but that is the end of the issue, and it was quite good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was enjoyable. I thought it had really good stuff happening, and I really enjoyed the way that the Red Beetle, or the Blood Scarab, just manages to trounce everyone. I think they did a great job with that. So, good stuff here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys later.